My name is Kella Whitmer. I'm 38 years old, the youngest daughter of a family that built its name on wine cellars, private equity, and appearances no one dared question. While my mother, Vera, curated perfection, and my sister Elena charmed her way through Ivy League fundraisers, I built my world in silence, numbers, markets, strategies, climbing to become a regional executive while they still saw me as the cold one. I was never the graceful daughter, the pretty bride, or the obedient heir. I was the contingency plan, the afterthought. And on the day of my sister's wedding, they decided my $4.8 million penthouse was the perfect gift for her. They announced it like it was theirs to give, like I wasn't even in the room, but I was. And this time, I wasn't staying silent. They didn't expect me to say no, and they sure as hell weren't ready for what came next. Elena's wedding was everything Vera had fantasized for decades. Chandeliers dripping crystals, waiters in white gloves, every table blooming with white orchids and layered menus written in gold foil. I walked in 30 minutes before the ceremony, alone. Heads turned. Vera's jaw tightened. She wore navy blue, not black, not quite mourning, but not celebratory either. Always the statement maker. You made it, she said flatly. And so, businesslike as usual, my navy gown was custom, understated, elegant. Not that she cared. Elena's suite is upstairs, Vera added. She's radiant. She should be. Everything's fallen into place. Finally. The ballroom thudded with the bass of cellos tuning. Champagne hissed from open bottles. Cameras clicked. I didn't belong here. I knew it, but I had wired $40,000 to the vendor deposit last month. Apparently, that didn't earn me a seat at the table. Just a line in the footnotes. Kella, my father, Douglas, called across the ballroom. Quick word. We walked toward the balcony. We'll be announcing the gift during the speeches, he said. Calm, corporate, like he was closing a deal. What gift? He smiled. Your penthouse. Elena and Leo could use a real home. A silence stretched. You're joking, I said. You don't even live there full-time anymore. Tokyo. Singapore. You're always elsewhere. You're giving away my home. We thought you'd be honored. I didn't speak. Family over assets, Kella. That's how you stay whole. It wasn't a request. The ceremony began. Rows of politicians, socialites, and tech investors watched Elena float down the aisle in Vera Wang. I barely heard the vows. Everything blurred until the reception. Glasses clinked. Toasts began. Then my father stood. We want to celebrate our daughter Elena's new beginning with something truly meaningful, he said, voice booming. A place to start a family, a symbol of everything this family stands for. My stomach dropped. That's why we're delighted to announce Elena and Leo will be moving into Kella's beautiful penthouse in Nob Hill. Gasps, applause, laughter, cameras flashing. My throat dried. Elena pressed a hand to her chest like she'd just heard this. She was a terrible actress. Oh my God, she whispered into the mic. Kella, I thank you. Thank you. All eyes turned to me. Even the DJ stopped the track. Then Rowan Pike approached. Family lawyer. Tailored suit. Wolf smile. I've got the docs ready, he murmured. We'll just need your signature before dessert. He slipped a folder in front of me. Cream linen. Gold clip. Page 1. Transfer of ownership. Page 2. Power of attorney. Page 3. Signature line. And there it was. My name. In ink. Already signed. You forged this, I said quietly. Let's not make a scene, Rowan replied. You agreed months ago, don't you remember? I stood. That's not my signature. The ballroom went dead silent. No one moved. The ballroom held its breath like the walls themselves had been slapped. I watched Elena's face fall, just a beat too slow. Then the practiced tremble of her lips. The blink-blink of faux disbelief. Kella, she whispered, stepping closer, mic still in hand. If this is a bad time, we can talk later. Liar. I walked off the platform. Each step cut through silk and silence. Rowan followed. Of course he did. In the hallway, I turned sharply. Try that again. I dare you. He held up his palms. Look, there's a lot of emotion in the air right now. Don't. Spin. You did sign those forms. I emailed you in March. You never objected. I never received anything. That's not what the read receipt shows. I don't care what you doctored, I snapped. That is not my signature. Rowan's face didn't flinch. We can fix this, but don't make a scene. Your father is one bad quote away from collapse. His mouth twitched. You really want this on record? I asked, because live streams don't die. They multiply. A pause. Careful, Kala, he said softly. You push too hard. People start asking if you're stable. There it was. The word they all used when I didn't comply. Unstable. Not angry. Not betrayed. Not robbed. Just inconvenient. I exhaled. You know what they say. The person who calls you crazy is usually the one with something to hide. Rowan leaned in, voice low. Don't pick this fight. I smiled. You're already losing it. He stiffened. I turned. Marched past stunned servers and fake smiling guests. Cut scene. Back in the powder room. Gold sconces reflected Elena's wedding dress. She stood before the mirror, reapplying lip gloss like nothing had happened. I locked the door behind me. You're humiliating yourself, she said. You forged my name. She sighed. God, you're exhausting. It's not about you, Kella. It's a gesture. You have so much. That's not how law works. You really want to drag this into court? Yes. She faced me. Leo's company is expanding. We need leverage, location, reputation. You're gone half the year. You mean I'm not trapped in this museum of narcissism? Elena laughed. Mom said you'd crack. I'm not cracking, I whispered. I'm documenting. I moved toward the door. Then she slapped me. It wasn't hard, but it was calculated. A test. Now we're even, she said. I didn't flinch. I didn't give her anything. Some people mistake silence for surrender. Cut to a side room, dim, quiet. I checked my phone. 3 missed calls from my assistant. 1 text from Nadia Klein. Something's off. Call now. I stepped into the hallway. Dialed. She picked up fast. You need to listen. That Penthouse. Your unit title was amended 2 weeks ago. What? A trust update. Filed in Nevada. Rerouted through Delaware. Corporate shell. Who controls it? Technically, you still do. But the trust now allows dual signatures. One of them, Elena. My lungs stalled. She's making it look like you gave her shared ownership, Nadia said. I'm pulling every amendment now. And the timing? It's not random. It was planned. I never signed anything. They have something. A copy. A scanned form. What's the date? March 17th. I blinked. I was in Tokyo. I never signed anything in March. She went quiet. Then, Rowan may not be who you think. I looked down the hall. He was watching me. Still. Smiling now. You were right, Nadia said. This isn't just fraud. This is premeditated asset theft. Can you prove it? I'm trying. I walked back through the ballroom. Conversations stopped as I passed. Aunt Lila whispered to someone she's always had. Episodes. Elena held Leo's hand now. She looked like royalty, nothing out of place. Controlled. I passed Vera by the champagne fountain. She didn't even look at me. I headed toward the back exit, but security stepped forward. Ms. Whitmer, one said gently, we need to hold you here. Family request. On what grounds? They said it's a mental health concern. I stared at him. You think I'm a threat? I asked. He hesitated. I turned to the other. You. He shook his head. I smiled tightly. Then move. They didn't. My phone buzzed again. Another text from Nadia. They're moving fast. Trust's being liquidated. Your name's about to vanish. They're not just taking my penthouse, they're erasing me. The ballroom blurred. I wasn't walking. I was cutting through a fog of fabric, perfume, and polished veneers. Faces shifted, eyes narrowed. Some whispered. Some recorded. No one intervened. I climbed the platform like it was mine. Elena was still mid-toast. We're just so lucky to have a family that supports. I took the mic from her hand. A breath caught in her throat. The photographer lowered his camera. Let's be clear, I said, voice even. This wasn't a gift. This was theft. No one breathed. My signature was forged, I said. And that penthouse, it's still mine. Rowan surged forward. Gaya. Touch me, and I swear I'll scream felony assault, I snapped. This is being recorded, remember? Someone near the DJ booth whispered. Is this part of the speech? I raised the folder. This document, I held it high, was presented to me 20 minutes ago. It shows my name, my home, my consent. One problem. I flipped the page. I never signed it. A ripple moved through the room, like static. From the corner, my mother started toward me, controlled, not rushed, like she was walking onto a stage. Kala, sweetheart, she said gently, you're confused. That was taken care of months ago. No, Vera, I said. It was buried, quietly, with a fake timestamp and a forged e-signature routed through a VPN in Switzerland. Rowan paled. I have a tech investigator on the line right now, I added, and a federal compliance officer reviewing the transfer trail. This isn't just a bad family moment. It's a criminal one. Gasps. Someone clapped a hand to their mouth. Elena stepped forward, voice trembling. She's having an episode. Kala does this when she's off her. Shut up. The mic caught it, crisp and sharp. You built your life stealing from mine. But this is the last time you touch what's mine. Vera reached me. Her hand hovered. You've embarrassed yourself enough, she said quietly. Funny, I was thinking the same thing about you. She slapped me. Not a warning. A strike. Sharp. Public. Caught on half a dozen phones. Every head turned. A waiter dropped a tray. Glass shattered like a gunshot. My face burned, but I didn't touch it. Silence choked the air. I looked Vera in the eye. I hope you're ready for court. Because this family just turned civil war. Cut scene. Back hallway. Nadia's voice was in my ear. I just watched the live stream. I didn't plan it, I murmured. I don't care. That slap? That changes everything. Tell me. They pushed an amendment through this morning. Today, Kala. They're trying to finalize liquidation of the trust under duress. It's being fast-tracked using a psychiatric waiver. My blood iced. They're using the mental health excuse to expedite the asset shift. Legal guardianship language. It's textbook elder law abuse tactics applied to you. But I'm not. They're counting on you losing it. I leaned against the wall. How do we stop it? I found the shell they're routing it through. Crossfield Holdings. Guess who sits on the board? Rowan. No. Leo. Elena's fiancé. Cut to ballroom again. Leo's voice was now front and center. Kala's obviously under strain. I walked in. No, Leo, I said loud. I'm under attack. He flinched. You and Elena funneled this through Crossfield Holdings. You signed the documents with my digital token after breaching my multi-authentication. Elena gasped. She's insane. No, just better at digital forensics than you. Rowan was already backing away. Someone yelled, "Turn off the cameras!" Too late. I raised my phone. The screen showed the legal trail. Highlighted. Glowing. Say hello to Exhibit A. The ballroom erupted. Screams. Shouting. Guests backing away. Reporters started calling in tips. Rowan tried to escape. 2 security guards stopped him. Vera collapsed into a chair. Elena cried, this time not on cue. Leo stared at the floor. The MC, still holding the mic, whispered, should I cut to music? I turned back toward the crowd. This isn't just a wedding gone wrong, I said. This is a heist in heels, and I'm done being the vault. If they want war, I'll give them litigation. The moment the ballroom turned to chaos, I walked. I didn't run, I didn't cry. I walked, straight through the wreckage of a wedding that was never mine. Never real. Never meant to be beautiful. Let them watch me go. Nadia called as I hit the valet stand. They're trying to freeze your bank accounts, she said. I froze. What? They've already sent a motion through Crossfield's legal wing to have your primary and secondary accounts audited for suspicious activity. False flag filing. If they hit Chase and Morgan Stanley in tandem, you'll be locked out by morning. They're trying to bankrupt me before I can retaliate. That's the point. I slid into the back of the black sedan that pulled up. Then we don't wait. What do you have? Just got into the shared drive from Leo's firm. There's a folder, red ledger. I blinked. That's not ominous at all. It's encrypted, but I decrypted a few PDFs. Kala, this goes beyond your penthouse. How far? She exhaled. The penthouse was just the opening move. They've used your name to funnel capital into overseas holding accounts. Cayman, Luxembourg, Panama. Laundering. Yes, through your equity. You were the fall girl. On paper, it's you hiding money. Silence. My nails dug into my palm. They needed you quiet, out of the way, institutionalized or discredited. And now we expose them. Cut to my apartment in the marina, not the penthouse, the fallback one. Walls still bare. Only 3 wine glasses in the cabinet. I dropped my bag. My hands shook. I wasn't afraid. I was calculating. They underestimated what silence teaches. They built a machine, I said aloud. Now I'm going to dismantle it. The next morning, I walked into the offices of Valence Capital. My firm. 22 floors of glass, leather, and coated clearance. My badge didn't beep. Security eyed me. Ms. Whitmer, your clearance has been paused. I'm VP of Global Acquisitions. Your title was changed this morning. You're now listed as consultant. No floor access. A beat. Who filed the change? Director Nolan. Nolan Harper. My mentor. My former boss. The man who taught me. Trust data, not handshakes. He betrayed me. I smiled. Then page him. Tell him his former protege wants a word. 10 minutes later, Nolan stood across from me in the marble lobby. Crisp suit, silver watch, eyes wary. Cal, he said, this isn't the place. You used my clearance key. Your digital signature was used to greenlight 4 offshore transfers this quarter. SEC's asking questions. We had to act fast. Let me guess. Elena fed you those files. He didn't deny it. You taught me better than this, I said. Sometimes you have to sever a limb to save the body. My voice dropped. You severed the wrong one. Cut scene, my lawyer's office. Jasper Lenz, late 40s. Former DOJ. No patience for polite threats. He scanned the documents Nadia sent. This is layered, he said. Fake trusts, parallel accounts, off-book transfers. They were prepping to use you as the scapegoat in a federal inquiry. And now. He looked at me. Now we bring them down. But you'll need hard proof. We have it. Not enough. The court won't care about theory. We need confirmation from inside. Someone who can flip. Rowan. He shook his head. He's too deep. But there's another name here. Subpoena logs. An email trace. Nolan had a shadow assistant, used to funnel data transfers without hitting compliance protocols. I narrowed my eyes. Name. Jasper slid a file toward me. Talia Voss. Former intern. Off the books. Fired 3 months ago. No reason listed. You find her, he said. She cracks, the whole thing does. I found her. Living in a crumbling duplex in Oakland. Teaching yoga part-time. She opened the door in sweats, blinked. You're Calla Whitmer. You're Talia Voss. I can't talk to you. I'm not here to hurt you. She hesitated. You don't know what they did to me. Then show me. She let me in. The apartment smelled like sage and stale air. A cat crossed the floor, tail high. Talia poured tea with shaking hands. They made me erase logs, send burner copies, threatened to sue me for IP theft when I asked questions. Why didn't you go to the police? I did. I have a file. I froze. You have a file? She nodded. In a safety deposit box. I kept everything. Passwords, emails, even screen recordings. Where? She bit her lip. Wells Fargo branch on 24th, box 117. I stood. You're coming with me. She blinked. Now. There's no later left. But as we stepped outside, I noticed it. A black SUV parked across the street. Engine running. No driver visible. My heart tightened. They already know we found her. The black SUV didn't follow us. That was worse. I pulled Talia into traffic, merged hard, watched reflections in every window. Nothing. No pursuit. No sirens. Predators don't chase when the trap is already set. We crossed the bridge in silence. Wind howled. My phone vibrated. Unknown number. I ignored it. Another vibration. Text this time. You're making this bigger than it needs to be. I deleted it. People don't threaten what they don't fear, I said, more to myself than to Talia. And fear always leaks. She nodded, hands shaking. They told me if I talked, they'd ruin me. They already tried, I said. You're still standing. We parked 2 blocks from the Wells Fargo branch. I cut the engine, listened. The city breathed around us. Rule 1, I said. We don't rush the door. We waited. 2 minutes. 5. Nothing. We moved. Inside, fluorescent lights. Security guard half asleep. The vault door hummed open. Box 117. Talia's hand hovered. She closed her eyes. Opened the box. Inside, a flash drive. A folded envelope. A phone wrapped in plastic. Which one first? She asked. All of them. The phone powered on. 1% battery. A voice memo queued. A woman's voice filled the booth. Come. Familiar. Elena. We do this during the wedding. Public consent is implied. If she resists, we pivot. If she breaks, we proceed. I swallowed. Another memo. Rowan won't cross us. He can't. He still owes me. A third. The penthouse is leverage, not the goal. The loan closes once Crossfield posts the asset. After that, she's irrelevant. Talia looked at me. She planned it. I nodded. 18 months ago. The flash drive contained screen recordings, emails, threats, calendars marked in red. Red ledger. I smiled without humor. A ledger is for empires. Cut scene. Nadia's loft in Oakland smelled like coffee and ozone. Screens everywhere. Lines of code crawling like ants. She never wanted a marriage, Nadia said, scrubbing through timestamps. She wanted collateral. Say it again, I said. She wanted an empire. There it was. The shape of it. The motive that fit every angle. Rowan. I asked. Blackmailed, Nadia said. Tax exposure. Elena fed him a way out. He became her pen. I exhaled. People sell their spines cheaper than they think. Nadia glanced up. There's more. Crossfield's backers. One of them is trying to flip. Who? She turned the screen. A name flashed. Nolan Harper. My chest tightened. He's scared, Nadia said. He moved money out last night. Sloppy. Then he's ready to talk. Cut scene. The warehouse was cold and echoing. Sodium lights flickered. Nolan stood alone near a folding table, hands flat, jacket off. I didn't know it was this bad, he said quickly. She said it was clean. You taught me to verify, I said, and then you stopped. They said you were unstable. I laughed. Short, sharp, the oldest trick. Call the truth crazy until it shuts up. He swallowed. Elena threatened me. She had emails, old ones. She said she'd send them to the board. So you sold me. I panicked. Fear doesn't excuse betrayal, I said. It explains it. I slid the flash drive across the table. You help me, or your exhibit B. He stared at it. What do you want? The truth. On record. He nodded. Rowan moved filings through a proxy in Nevada. Elena signed with a clone token. Your biometric clause, she didn't know. I stilled. What clause? He blinked. You don't remember? I remembered. A line I'd insisted on years ago. Buried. Ignored. No transfer valid without biometric verification at point of execution. I felt something like hope. Dangerous. Electric. Say that again, I said. He did. Cut scene. Sirens wailed outside the warehouse. Distant, then closer. Nolan flinched. I didn't call anyone. Neither did I said. Phones lit up. Alert stacked. SEC. Mandatory report filed. DOJ. Preliminary inquiry opened. AMC. Breaking news. Heiress fraud probe. Elena's face appeared on a screen. Wedding makeup perfect. Eyes hard. You think you won, she said into the camera. You're always late to the game. I stepped into frame. Games end. Empires fall. She smiled. Not mine. Behind her, agents moved. She didn't notice. I did. She turned. Too late. Hands on her shoulders. Cuffs clicking. Gasps. Cameras screaming. I leaned closer to the lens. You wanted an empire, I said softly. You built it on my name. She stared at me, for the first time afraid. They tried to erase me, I whispered. Now they're the footnotes. The courtroom was cold. Not from temperature, from what it held. The gallery was packed, press, legal aides, spectators who dressed like vultures. Every breath was tension. Every blink, calculation. Elena sat in the defense chair, flanked by two attorneys in $1,000 suits and 1,000-yard stares. She didn't look at me. I didn't look away. The prosecution built their case like a symphony. Emails, voice memos, false contracts. The fake biometric transfer attempt. Twist by twist, the layers fell apart. My voice was steady, clear. I testified without flinching. She knew I'd never consent. That's why they forged it. What was the intended gain, Ms. Whitmer? The prosecutor asked. I looked at Elena. Control. Of me. Of everything I built. Cut scene. After the verdict, guilty on 5 counts, Elena didn't cry. She whispered something to her lawyer. He nodded. Just another game to her. But I knew the truth now. Some people don't want justice. They want leverage. Outside, flashbulbs exploded. Microphones lunged. I pushed through with Talia beside me. How do you feel? What's next? Did you really outmaneuver your own family? I stopped. Let them catch silence. I survived, I said. And that's not something they taught me. I taught myself. Cut scene. Nadia handed me a mug. Rooftop breeze. Oakland skyline behind us. You did it, she said. No, I said. We exposed it. That's not the same as ending it. Then what now? Clean house. Over the next 2 weeks, we filed new deeds, rescinded false filings, exhumed every corner of the red ledger. Nolan testified before the SEC. Talia filed a whistleblower suit. And I transferred the Penthouse. To myself. Again. This time with full biometric encryption, AI fraud alerts, and legal backups across 3 states. One lesson etched deep. Power doesn't protect you. Precision does. I visited my parents once. They didn't expect me. My mother opened the door, all gray eyes and forced grace. You didn't return my calls, she said. You taught me something, I said. Silence is what lets rot spread. My father didn't speak. He couldn't meet my eyes. I walked past them, set the original voice memos on their marble countertop. No more leverage, I said. No more pretending. Your sister. She chose her path. And you think you're better, my mother hissed. No, I said. I think I finally stopped trying to be worse, just to earn your attention. Cut scene. Back in the penthouse. Sunlight pouring through clean glass. I move different now. Not like prey. Like air cutting stone. You kept your name, Nadia said once. No, I corrected her. I reclaimed it. Calla Whitmer, 38, raised for silence, trained to apologize for taking space. Now, I sit at the head of the table. A line I used to read from a cracked notebook echoed in my head. Sometimes it's not the lie they tell that breaks you. It's the one they made you repeat. Not anymore. Not again. My phone buzzed. Unknown number. I let it ring once. Twice. Then answered. You've made enemies, a man's voice said. I smiled. Good, said. Enemies are easier to recognize than family.